All right, lesson one. We're going to dive right into this right before I do a little intro. So, on Friction Log, if you've listened to our podcast or seen some of the stuff we do, we always start a Friction Log with the persona, the person doing the logging, doing the UX study or whatever. So, in that case, that's me. That's what this whole series is about, is me learning Python. So, in my case, let's just talk about my experience with Python. I have like this much experience with Python. Let me explain. So when I worked at Accelerator, a lot of our tooling was built in Python. I never wrote a single function of it. I debugged some of it. I went through and I tweaked a couple things and tested stuff with it, but I never really wrote code in it. And that was my experience with Accelerator. And that was 10 years ago. 9 years ago. So it's been a while. Then I did some exploratory learning with machine learning. And that was more, honestly, that was more using, copy pasting framework code and Keras code and TensorFlow code and things like that than actually really writing it. It was more learning by example. I never really wrote any code per se. I used Uber has a really nice tool too with some of the ML stuff. So my experience with Python is really just around those really, really basic machine learning principles. But again, I never really wrote functions, wrote classes, wrote objects and destructure things and data structures and try to merge them together and all that kind of stuff. Never did any of that. So that's my experience with Python. So jumping into this, it's really kind of base, like let's just start from scratch. So that's it. Now, again, back to the persona, I do have a lot of coding experience at written apps in Swift and Kotlin, lots and lots and lots of JavaScript, some Go experience. So I and that's over like 15 years. So I do have programming experience and engineering, software engineering experience, just not really as much Python, the language experience. Which is perfect because Copilot, GitHub Copilot supports Python. So, hey, let's try it and see what happens, right? All right, so I'm going to just jump over. I mentioned this in the first video. I'm just going to use Code Academy's outline to try to learn. So Python syntax is lesson number 1. So if I click on View Details here, hello world, print statement, strings, errors, variables, arithmetic, updating variables, numbers. Okay, cool. So this is a perfect lesson 1 kind of thing for Copilot. So let's do this. Let's create a folder. We're going to call this lesson 1. And then what is this anyway? What is this? Python syntax. Okay, so we'll call this syntax. Actually, let me just do this. Lessons. Told you this is raw, doing everything ad hoc. Lessons, and then we're going to do, what was it? Syntax, yeah. Syntax.py is the extension, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. All right, we're off to the races. So, yield hello world. So that would be print statements. So let's do this. Okay, so Copilot's on. That's this little thing right here. So that's on. So let's just tell it to print a statement. What happens? Print, I will now count my chickens, okay? That doesn't even look right. Wow, it's printing me all sorts of stuff. Okay, these are good examples. This is from somebody's program in some repo somewhere. You know it. Oh, that doesn't look right. Even it's giving me red squiggles here. Invalid. That's what I thought. All right, so let's kill this one. And then why are these red squigglies happening? Print invalid syntax. Is it because it should be wrapped in parentheses? Yeah, so for some reason, it's not wrapping these in parentheses. Maybe there's some like shortcut thing in Python that does that. I don't know. It's interesting. Or there's like some kind of linter or something in Python that allows it. And then my linter, whatever this is, Magic Python is the language mode, whatever that is. All right. So these are some example print statements. Let's run these. Let's just do it right here on the terminal here. So actually, no, let's see. I think with VS Code, I can just say Python run file in terminal. There you go. There you go. But I will now count my eggs. Oh, I got to delete that, don't I? All right, cool. That worked. So that's pretty standard. JavaScript, it's console log. There's Println. There's a million different type of print things for other languages. All right. So that was easy. So, I guess technically I'm supposed to say print hello world. Hello world. Right. So that's super easy. There are two different Python versions which are used. I have 3. I think is what I installed. The most is how you write a print statement. I don't even know the difference. I have no idea. Print statement. Is it smart enough to know? Version 2. Does it know? Okay. Print statement version 3. It looks the same to me. Right, that's string. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. That's something I'll have to look up. I don't think there's any way to know that. All right, let's see here. Strings. So there's all sorts of strings. So there's lots of, let's think about this. So in primitives, there's all sorts of string operations you need. So just do create a string variable. I'm going to be learning 2 things here by doing that, right? Okay. And then we're going to say concatenate 2 strings. Okay, so I guess in Python it's a plus, so that's easy. This is taking hello world and we're adding the exclamation marks. I'm going to get rid of some of these print statements because we don't need all these. Okay, so well, if I run it, let's just run it real quick. There it is, hello world with the exclamation marks on the bottom. Okay, so concatenating is good. What about string interpolation? So interpolate a string. Okay, that's easy. So I guess in this case, hello world. It's interesting there's no comma. I think in most languages you would like the string. Well, this is print, I guess, so that's different. All right, that makes sense. Let's do this. Interpolate a string with a number. There we go. So this is conversion types. Okay, I see. So string, digit. Okay, that makes sense. What about interpolate a string and assign to a variable? There we go. Oh, same thing. Okay, right. Duh, because it's returning this. I'm an idiot. Right. Okay. That makes sense. So I guess this is the delimiter that the compiler is looking for, is that percentage. And then you just separate them this way. Okay. What else do we need to do with strings here? So is there any hints we have on this? Okay. So that's pretty easy. Let's see here. What else with strings? Can we string functions? What about find the length of a string? Okay, that's easy. So it's len is the function. Okay. Find a letter in a string. Print H in greeting. Oh, duh, greeting, because hello world, right. Yep. Okay, so this is a Boolean statement. H in greeting it returns true. That's interesting. We'll get the control statements and Booleans, I guess, later in another lesson. But that's I wouldn't have expected that. I'm looking at the help here. Okay. There you go. Okay, so then that should be 1, right? Or actually, should be 0. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. What else do I need to learn with strings? Concatenating, interpolating, finding the length. Can we reverse it? Reverse a string. What on earth? I have no idea what the syntax means. So greeting, I would expect it a function, not this, but maybe a string is an object in Python. Yeah, string is a class or an object. Okay. So I don't know what these brackets are for. Like in JavaScript, you could do that to access things on an object. Reverse a string. So I don't even know what in the world these dots are doing. Well, let's just play around with it, huh? So there. Okay, so it reverses it. What is this going to break if I do this? Okay, I have no idea what this does. We'll see what it does. Okay, that took out the last letter. All right, hold on. Let me. So that reverses it. This takes out the last letter. What if you do this? What does that do? That gets the last letter. Interesting. Okay, so that's cool. So you can get an index of something like that, and then you can decide to remove it based on the index, I guess. Is that what that means here? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And so for some reason, a colon, 2 colons, is there such thing as 3 colons? No. All right. I don't know what that's called in Python. Obviously, I'm learning just from Copilot, but this is a really interesting language feature. All right. So wait, let's do this again. I gotta make sure. Okay. So this is move the last one. All right, jumps to the last one and then it removes it. I don't know why this reverses it. I don't understand. I don't understand that. This makes sense. And actually, that makes sense too. What it's doing. Again, I don't know what it's called. I don't quite understand why that works. But cool. Okay. All right. Reverse string. I think we're good for strings, right? What else? Handle errors. Run into errors, exceptions. Okay, so handle error. Is this going to do anything? Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Oops. Handle errors. I mean that. Okay, great. Yeah, that's going to create an error, right? Because that should create an error. It should crash, right? Yeah. Okay, so then how do I handle exception for that? Try. Okay, yep, there's that. Exception, index error. Set a range. Yep, that makes sense. Index out of range. Totally makes sense. Index out of range. Okay, so, but how do I, okay, this is the object, right? Can I print error message? No, I don't want to. Okay, I get what you're trying to do, but really what I want to do is, can I do this? Can I convert this to a, will it convert that to here, let's see what happens. Class. So how do I convert this to like the message or something? Okay, there is a message on it. Object that has no, oh, then why did it say it did? I have no idea. With traceback. All right, so how do I get the reference index? Oh, well, okay. I guess it's one set error, right? I thought maybe it was embedded inside of it instead of me having to write it out. Print exception. Yeah, it's definitely index out of balance, but all right, whatever. That's good enough for now, for handling exceptions. Good to know, though. What else we got? Variables. We need to build systems for dealing with data that changes over time. Yes, it does. So create a variable. Wow, it'd help if I could spell. With hello world. Hey, my variable, hello world. All right, that's easy. Now I got lots of questions on variables. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do concat to variables. What does this do? Same thing. No, my variable plus greeting. Yeah, because it's two strings. Duh. That's stupid. I already know how to do that. I just learned it. All right, so we got, let's see here. That's a string. I don't care about a string. Let's do this. Let's do create a variable with a list. Yay, list. All right, so how do I create variables from destructure a list? No. Destructuring. Maybe it's called something different in Python. Destructure a list. All right, let's try it. It's not giving me options. Let's do this. Oh, look, there we go, right there. ABC. So that should give me 1, 2, 3. ABC 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's destructuring. So then that should give me print a. Can I do this in Python? Multiple things? Should be able to, right? Let's see. What happens when I do this? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Okay. So that's destructuring list. So I know we haven't gotten to lists or arrays or whatever yet, but this is what I cared about, which is assigning a variable out of the list for the different indexes. Okay, cool. What else do I need about variables? Anything? Assigning. Is there a constant? Create a constant with a list. Okay, that's a constant. Create a temp. Well, and help if I temporal variable. Ooh. Okay, that's looks a lot like that constant that I just created. All right, whatever. Create a CSV file. What? Oh, okay, right. What else we got? We got variables, arithmetic. Okay, subtraction, multiplication, division. All right, so add to numbers. Easy. All right. Divide to numbers. This is, yep, what you'd expect. Divisible by. Two numbers. Or show me the modulus. Modulus, I can't even talk. Oh, curious. Oh, wait, that's divided by. Okay, sorry. Divisible by. There we go. Okay, so same thing. That should return 1, yeah. Let's see here. So anything else special I need to know about this? I mean, we could do like floor of a number. That's not what I was expecting. Okay. Round a number. Right. Okay, that's simple. Sum by the length of, okay, that's good. Let's see here, what else we got? That was easy. Just trying to think what else I need to do. That's probably good for now. There's a lot of, there's a gazillion arithmetic operations, obviously. So updating variable, changing contents of variable is an essential operation. It could be bad though, right? You don't want to change a variable, do you? If it's a constant. As the flow of program progresses, data should be updated. Okay. Change variable to string. Ooh. Wait, duh. That's not what I want. Change variable. Probably good if I could spell. Ooh. Okay, right. So then we're going to just cast it as an, or actually that's a conversion, not a cast. Okay. Change variable from integer to a string. Same thing, right? It's probably, yeah, right. That's easy. Okay. Comments, already figured that out. Are there comment blocks in okay, yeah, so it's just hash. Okay, that's fine. Right, what kind of integers does Python have? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Int, do we do conversions? Okay, right, same thing. Int 64. That's going to be string. No, let's do 2. No? Yeah. Okay. Ooh, multi-line strings. All right, how do we do that? Multi-line string. Oh, okay, so you just triple quotes. That's easy. Oops. Can I do this though? What happens if I do that? This is a multi-line string. Okay, cool. So you can keep that nice and tidy. Does Python let you do this? Nope, sure doesn't. So it's got to have that, I guess. The compiler needs that. Okay. Oh, what else we got here? 2 types of division. quotient is a whole number. This works fine. Value is a quotient, which makes sense. Multi-line strings did that. Booleans. Oh yeah, let's we haven't done Booleans. Check if a variable is true or false. X is true. That is not a check. Not what I was expecting. Okay, so write a Boolean check. Okay. Starts with right, but like an if statement though. Okay, I mean that makes sense. It's correct, except I don't want to print it. I want a if statement. Okay. If my string equals hello world, print hello world, which it will. Okay. If else statement. So, oh, junk. Tab, 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 tab. Right. Okay, that's easy. Very, very simple. So let's do oh, what's this? Elif instead of just else. Else if. Right. Okay, that makes sense. What about case statements? So let's do switch. Statement. Yeah, Rick, come on. Tab. What? Yes. Switch statement. It's not doing it, huh? Boy, it does not. Maybe in Python there's not such a thing as a switch, huh? Is there such a thing as a switch in Python? Case statement? What is it doing? I mean, that's cool. I just learned some new string functions. Uppercase it, lowercase it. What's title? What does that do? Oh, it makes the each word capitalized, right? Returns a versus string where each word is title case. Yeah. Okay. So that's not what I wanted, but that's cool. Good to know. All right, maybe there's not a case statement, at least according to Copilot. What else we got? Value error, variable. So is that like a value check? Is that what that is? Check if type is a number. Cool. So type is a function, you pass it in, and then it's got to be, string is an integer. My string is definitely not an integer, so that should not work, right? Right. But if I said, if this is a string, str, right? String is an integer. Well, that's a lie. All right, there we go. Okay, I think that's it. What do we got here? What else do we got? Okay, cool. Well, that's it for the first lesson. Pretty easy, pretty simple stuff. I think Copilot did a great job at just kind of teaching me the basics of some of the syntax. We didn't get into syntax of like functions and classes and objects and stuff, but this is all like primitives, so that's okay. This probably should be called primitive syntax, but that's good. Cool. Can't wait for the next one.